Road, sweet road. And for game 3, mission accomplished. Javier shoved. Yordan helped this team. Heck, everybody got involved in the hit parade as the Astros continued to do what they do at Minute Maid Park 2.0. They rake. Let's talk about this victorious postseason edition of Locked On Astros starting right now.
Welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. You can find me on X at Eric Talkstros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. And Brett, where can you find you when you're jumping up and down, celebrating Astros winning Game 3 of the ALCS?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, TikTok, and Instagram. They can find me at Stros411 on X, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. Positive, I love it. When Yordan Alvarez and the team follow, always Stros when they show up.
Hey, Rangers fans, we did tell you not to sleep on the Astros on the road, and the Astros came and took care of business. And speaking of sleeping, why don't you swing for the fences on Sleeper Picks, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Download the Sleeper app and use the promo code Locked On, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Term and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 30 states. Check out Sleeper's terms today. And I'm excited about this. I'm excited about everybody that's been through this journey with us. I mean, we lost the first 2 games at home, and all the fans, all the Locked On Astros nation, y'all came and rallied around us. And yes, there's some frustration, everything like that, but we appreciate the fact that you make us part of your daily routine. Become an everydayer, somebody that listens to us every day, and go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, and go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. So if you weren't living under a rock, the Astros won Game 3, and now the series is at 2-1. That's what Dusty Baker said yesterday. So now if everything goes according to Dusty Baker's plans, the next thing that's going to happen is 2-2, then 3-2, and then 4-2. So that's what Dusty Baker was envisioning. Cristian Javier pitched very well. He did run into some trouble. He went through his typical no-hit bid for a while there. The offense scored early and often against Max Scherzer. And there's a lineup change we do need to talk about. And I hate the fact that during the playoffs, there's always this distraction that's thrown out there about Dusty Baker. I mean, it's always something, but right now it's the talk about Dusty Baker and how he doesn't like the Astros analytics. We may talk about that. We may not. We'll see. But the Astros won, and it was not a 1-0 victory. This was a great game all around. Yeah, the Rangers scored some runs, but they have great offense.
Yeah, but you know what? I could care less about talking about the Rangers tonight. They don't get any like Josh Jung. That's it. You know, it's over. Whatever. I could care less about them tonight. Eric, let's talk about the Astros. 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position. I'm looking on the RBI list. Oh, who is that I see? Martin Maldonado with 2 RBIs. Jeremy Pena with an RBI. Dubon with an RBI. Oh, Yordan Alvarez a couple more, and Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve was like, he almost hit 3 home runs in the game. I mean, he barely missed the curveball from Scherzer. He barely missed the next pitch. And Yordan almost hit 2 home runs himself. I mean, look, these guys were hitting the crap out of the ball. Minute Maid Park 2.0. I absolutely love road field advantage with the Houston Astros. It was a great day at the office, Eric. Pretty much everybody got involved. Yes, Brantley did go 0 for 5. Bregman did go 0 for 4. But look, Tucker was only 1 for 2 today. But Eric, he had 3 walks and he scored 2 runs. Right. So Tucker contributed. Dubon contributed. Martin Maldonado Dubon had 3 hits. Alvarez had 2, Altuve had 2, and Maldonado had 2. And what did we say this team needed to do? They needed to score early. They needed to score first, but they needed to keep the lead. And the Rangers showed that they do have lightning in their bats. And Josh Jung could have easily hit a 3rd home run out later on, but he only got the 2, and that was it. It's just a great game all around, Eric. What a game by Cristian Javier. The guy just continues to perform in the playoffs. And I was listening to Martin Maldonado after the game, and he was asked by Tom Verducci about his hits off at Scherzer. We'll get to that later. But when he was asked about Javier, he said, what is going on with, Javier? How did he do today? He said his slider wasn't working in the first 3 innings, so he was running up that high fastball that was working, and that helped us. And then they asked him, what is your focus tomorrow? He said, our focus is one game at a time and to win every pitch tomorrow. That is our focus. And so what's that look for?
Oh, I actually put somebody in timeout, the wrong person. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you were. All right. So, Eric, did you hear what I was saying about Martin Maldonado?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cristian Javier, to kind of follow off on that, he had a great game, and he had that walk to kind of break up the perfect game. I believe it was I forgot who the walk was, but he actually has the lowest batting average in a 4-start span in postseason history. He has a 0.071 batting average. Mike Mussina from 1997 to 2001 had a 0.104, and he also had a 0.112 in 1997. Zach Wheeler in 2022 had a 118. And also Justin Verlander, 2017-18, had a 118. So what Cristian Javier is doing is awesome. And he also, unfortunately, snapped his scoreless inning streak. I believe it was at 21 innings or something like that. So he was doing pretty good. He's been doing great. And this is what the Cristian Javier that we've been trying to get all season. And it's just kind of like Jose Abreu. Okay, yes, he struggled a little bit in the regular season, but you're paying him for the postseason, and that's what he's doing. He's stepping up big time. And you know what? If this series goes to Game 7, guess who's going to be on the mound for Game 7 of the ALCS? It's going to be Cristian Javier. And yeah. I couldn't pick a better person. And did you see Martin Maldonado's shoes? He actually had reptile shoes on, and I think it was alligator shoes. And he said he did in honor of Cristian Javier, and just everything went well in this game. And you can just tell from the second inning on that the Astros were on their A game. So I have a suggestion for Game 6 if the Astros get.
Well,
hopefully, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, but let's not hold on. Let's stop. I'm gonna have to put the kibosh on that. We're not going to talk about Game 6.
No, it's not. It's not baseball related. It's fan related.
No. Let's not talk about that tonight. No. We only talk about that if we know we're going back for Game 6. Okay, we can't talk about that right now. It's too early. I trust me. I love the enthusiasm. I got the vibe. I'm trekking with it. But let's not put the cart before the horse. Like Martin Maldonado said, as they were giving high fives going off the field, Martin said, 1 down. That's 1 down.
Right.
We go get 1 more tomorrow. That's what he said. 1 more tomorrow. It's all about Game 4. It's all about what we do in Game 4. It's all about the looseness and how these guys played. And it's like they all said in their press conferences, what is it between home and away that you guys have? And Martin said, if we would have figured that out, we would have changed that a long time ago. We just don't know. But, dude, they look – I mean, I forgot Max Scherzer's first start against us. We shelled him for 7 runs. And when I saw that, I was like, this is going to be easy. I'm sorry. I had all the confidence in the world. And then when we got those first scores, I was just like, you know what, dude, this is not even going to be a game tonight. And you know what? The Rangers kept it from being a blowout. I mean, dude, Leody Taveras with an amazing catch. But on our side, Michael Brantley, that's probably his second best postseason defensive play. The first best being the doubling up Aaron Judge at first base after making the sliding grab in left field in Minute Maid Park. But Eric, Michael Brantley doesn't run like that lately, and he just hustled and ran that ball down. So tip your hat to Michael Brantley, tip your hat to Leody Taveras, two great web gems on the night tonight. And that one play where Abreu almost ran into, I think that was Nathaniel Lowe. Right. That could have been a disaster. That could have been a fumbled ball, a guy get on base. You don't know what goes on after that. But the Astros had another opponent on the field, Eric. It was the umpires.
Right. Yeah.
The umpire's strike zone was terrible.
Yeah, Max Scherzer was getting those Greg Maddux calls. We'll have to talk about that in a second. But the Astros offense, they didn't really care. They're like, you know what? We'll see your umpiring, and we'll go ahead and take care of it anyway. So we'll talk a little bit more about offense, more about Michael Brantley's catch. That was great. And so it's just awesome game, guys.
Well, guys, the MLB playoffs is here, and that means that the clock is ticking on your chance to win 100 times your money with daily fantasy baseball. Baseball has never been more exciting, especially in this ALCS. Just when you thought they were out, they are back in it, made it a series. You can bet on studs like Yordan Alvarez, like Martin Maldonado, like Cristian Javier. If you're a Rangers guy, maybe Josh Jung or a Corey Seager. But look, you can bet on stats and pick more or less of these stats for these stars like home runs, hits, strikeouts, and more for up to 100 times payout on Sleeper. So get your picks right, and you could win big. You can go on with friends. You can start a group chat, and you can bet on what players you would like to take and win 100 times your money. Use a promo code Locked On, and you'll get a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Sleeper, check it out. It's fun. You'll love it. And make sure you check out the Astros playing the Rangers Thursday in Game 4 of the ALCS at 7:03 p.m. Catch all the hometown play calls on SiriusXM. Go to the SXM app. Search Astros.
All right. So this game was so big. I know the Astros, it was a must win, but there's only been one team in history that's come back from down 0-3 in the ALCS or in any league championship series. And that was the Red Sox against the Yankees. And I know that after the game the other day that David Ortiz and Derek Jeter were kind of mocking or talking to each other about it. But the Astros avoided something that is really hard to do. Coming back from 0-3 is just impossible. But now they're 2-1. They have a chance. And a lot of people have been coming at us all day and saying, well, why are we so optimistic? Why are we so are we homers? Are we just we're just blinded by Astros? No, we know how the Astros have played on the road. We know how they have played at Globe Life Field. We know how they dominated the Rangers. They outscored them 39-10 in that 3-game sweep to take first place back then. We know this team and we know how they play. So we knew how they're going to respond. And this team, they're dangerous. Just like Cristian Javier on the mound, when their backs are against the wall, they bite. They're just like rattlesnake, and they'll come out of woodwork or their hole and just bite you.
Well, look, Eric, here's the thing. Fielded questions all day on this, and even our own fan base asking us. A lot of people I think appreciate it, but like, how can you be optimistic? Do you understand this has never been done before? And I'm like, so it
has been done.
Okay. So do you approach life like if you have a goal to obtain? Like, what about people who break records? Like, do they stop playing their sports because it's never been done before? That's such a loser mentality. Like, winners win. And I'm not saying that the Astros are going to go out and win this series and go to the World Series. Their goal is small. Win game one, win a game one at a time. Win a pitch one at a time. Win the battle at the plate one at a time. I mean, Yordan Alvarez was asked, like, you are the same on the road and at home. How do you do it? And he said, it's simple. I make it easy. I don't change my approach. And I take every at bat as a personal battle between myself and the pitcher. That man, Yordan Alvarez, is the best hitter in Major League Baseball, hands down. There's no one better. There's not a more complete hitter in the major leagues. Kids, you're watching a generational talent. All the talk about Shohei Ohtani, this is a man that should be signing a $400 or $500 million contract because nobody has ice in their veins like this guy. And the reason why, like you said, Eric, the reason why we're positive about this team is because we know the ceiling of this team.
Right.
Okay. We respect the Rangers. I got told all day, you don't respect the Rangers enough. No, I respect them. They're obviously in the ALCS. They've actually blown through every expectation I had for them. I'll be real honest. I didn't have them in the playoffs. I underestimated them. Was I wrong? Yeah, I was wrong. I don't mind being wrong because I'm a practical guy. And are we homers? Hell yes, we're homers. You know why? Because we're Locked On Astros, okay? So we're not going to hate on players. And yeah, we're objective at times, right, Eric? I think we give a fair analysis, but we're always going to be positive. We're always going to be Stros. So we're never going to apologize for our approach. If it's too positive for you, go find somewhere else to watch because we don't need you.
There's a lot of negativity out there. And I think after a
it's
loss,
annoying as heck,
I think we're a little bit more negative. But the day before, we're pumped up. We're like, we can still do this. We believe in our team. And what fan does not believe in their team? I mean, I know prices for a Diamondback. Did you see that? They went the tickets for the Diamondback series at Chase Field or whatever their ballpark is called. They have plummeted by 90%. So you can get tickets for $15 or something like that.
Let's go. No, I'm joking.
So it's just like the Diamondback fans were like, yeah, the Phillies are going to crush us. We don't even want to go there and get crushed. And so I just think that the Astros fans, we know we've been there. We've had our backs against the wall. And so, of course, how did the Astros score in this game? First, it was a wild pitch by Max Scherzer, and Alvarez, who walked and actually got hit by a pitch earlier, he scored that run. So I just think that whoever scores first in the series and then keeps on scoring, that team's going to be the one that wins. So like you said yesterday, or got to keep on scoring first. You got to just go for the knockout early, and that's what the Astros did. And yes, Young kept on hitting the home runs, and Michael Brantley, what he did. I mean, it's just amazing that he's playing baseball at all with all the issues that he's had this year. But he made his second best catch, like you said, in ALCS history with the Astros. But it was just great. It was it could have been doubled by Adolis Garcia, and at that time it was just a 5-2 lead. So that could have been it could have then another home run here or there, another thing. So we didn't know that the Astros would score all that. So that was a big play at that moment. And Michael Brantley, he could be out there in left field. Mauricio Dubon, I'm all aboard him playing the rest of the series, and I like this lineup. Let's keep this lineup.
I agree. Eric, the Astros have scored 47 runs to the Rangers 15 runs in the last 4 games they played in Arlington. We have quadrupled their score total. Look at this line from Yordan Alvarez. And I know you've got something about him doing something for the first time in postseason history. 11 for 27, 8 extra base hits, 10 RBI, 6 home runs, an OPS of 1615. This guy gets robbed of a home run, and then his next at bat, he hits an RBI single to the opposite field and scores 2 runs. I was just, this is how do you counter what the Rangers did? You beat them at their game, hitting. And the Rangers scored 5 runs. I mean, usually if you score 5 runs, if your pitchers do their job, you win that game. They beat us 4-3 in game 2. We scored more runs in this game than we scored in the first 2 games combined. And so that's what the name of the game is. And you know what, Eric? Our bullpen did give up their first runs of the series, but I'm okay with that because we had the lead. they weren't so crucial. But Brian Abreu gave up his first runs since July 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's huge that he had that streak.
Yeah.
And Ryan Presley is now 14 for 14 in save opportunities.
Yeah, and Hector Neris did something again. We'll have to talk about that in a little bit. But Alvarez's home run, I mean, not home run, it would be home run that Tavares robbed, was 111 miles off the bat. It was expecting batting average of 1,000. It would have been a home run in 22 of 30 ballparks. That was a play of the game. So that both teams were playing great defense today. Overall, this was just a great game overall. It just, the Astros just played better. And so I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. I haven't seen it officially named, but I think that it's going to be Jose Urquidy on the mound tomorrow, and we'll see who's going to be on the mound for the Rangers in a second. That's something we'll discuss. So I'm excited. Jose Urquidy, he's pitched these big games before.
That's right. This episode is brought to you by Jay's Case. Unrest in the Middle East, fires in Hawaii, hurricanes and tornadoes in Florida, earthquakes, and more. These can lead to supply chain shortages for medications or the inability to get medications in a timely manner. The Jay's Case is a personalized emergency medical kit that contains 5 essential antibiotics that treat the most common and deadly bacterial infections. You can also customize your case and add additional life-saving medications based on your unique needs. Eric has gotten one of these Jay's cases, and I promise you he feels more secure because he has that. Jay's Case now offers customizability for your Jay's Case with dozens of add-on medications. Choose the medications that best fit you and your family's unique needs. Jay's is continually working to expand their medication offerings. In those recent efforts, they added ivermectin as an option in the Jay's Case. Okay. Now you can buy a gift card for a family member or your loved one so that they can get a Jay's Case of their own. So go to jacemedical.com and enter the promo code Locked On at checkout for a $20 discount on your order. That's promo code Locked On at Jase Medical, JASE medical.com. Go today. And make sure that if you're going to watch the game, that you go to your local Hooters. Tell them the guys at Locked On Astros sent you. Why? Because that's where we hang out. Great grub, great brews, beers on tap, beers of all kinds of flavors, $3 Blue Moon drafts, $9.99 Michelob Ultra pitchers, and not just baseball games, but any occasion, UFC fights, football, and all that stuff. So on Thursdays, they have $19.99 wings and Big Daddy bundle. You tell them that the guys from Locked On Astros sent you. You'll get a free basket of fried pickles. Hey, why don't you get the smoked honey chipotle wings and let them know you want some fries with that? That is my favorite. Or one of Eric's favorite, the teriyaki chicken tenders with teriyaki with curly fries. Always a great choice. Always great food. And they have the world famous Hooters girls. So check them out today. Let them know that Locked On Astros sent you, whether you're in Pearland, Pasadena, Galveston, Humble, or anywhere in between. Go to Hooters. Why? Because Hooters makes you happy.
And guys, don't forget, you can catch all the play-by-play action on SiriusXM. So if you can't watch the game, if you can't go to Arlington, there's a whole bunch of Astros fans there. Maybe not as much as a regular season game, but you can download the SiriusXM app. It's SXM. Just search Astros, catch all the play-by-play action there. And I've actually done that to listen to some of the postseason games. I'm like, oh, let me listen to the Phillies game. Oh, let me listen to the Braves game. Let me listen to all this. So it's just an awesome experience. So check out SiriusXM. And I don't know who's going to be the starter at this moment. They have not announced it, but I'm just waiting for that at the moment. But I'm assuming it's going to be Urquidy for the Astros, and I would guess it's going to be Andrew Heaney for the Rangers. He's the only starter that they haven't used yet. I know we saw John Gray today. We saw Martin Perez. So they both pitched in today's game. So I would guess that would be the situation there. So I know you've been calling it a bullpen game, but Andrew Heaney is a starter. He may not be as stretched out as he used to be, but the Astros, I think, have the upper hand because Urquidy has some playoff experience, and we've seen him just like in the last series. and then the game before. So I just think that this guy's going to come out and just do what he does. And if the Astros play their card right, get some offense, I can see the Astros easily tying up the series.
Yeah, and I think that's in order now. You literally had to go out and win game 3, and that's what Jose Altuve said. Jose Altuve mentioned that after the game. He was interviewed by Ken Rosenthal, and he talked about putting up 39 runs, and they added 8 today. He said, "How do you guys do it?" And Jose Altuve said, "You know what? I don't know, but it's a big win, and we know tonight we'll go in the locker room, celebrate it, but tomorrow we'll come back because it's another day." And the team came out and played well, but our focus is clearly going to be on game 4. Eric, I think their focus is really unmatchable. I think the ability for this club not to be rattled in the situation that they're in is really their X factor. And right. You hear about all these people talking about how Dusty is tanking this and how because he puts Maldonado in over Diaz, it's really like, look, this team can overcome things like that. This team can overcome being down 0-2. And again, just because it hasn't been done before, that's not a reason to not do it. That's all the more reason to do it. Why wouldn't you, if you're really trying to cement, like, seal your dynasty, cement your legacy, all that stuff that they started the season with, this is the kind of stuff that it's going to take to do that. Because you have, dude, last year the Yankees were not competition.
Right.
They weren't. The Rangers are competition. The Rangers have put up the best fight since I've seen since 2020 in the ALCS. I really just think that they put up a better fight even than the Yankees in like 2019. They present as a solid opponent. You get game 4, Jose Urquidy, calm, cool, collected. You let him go 5-6 innings, hopefully maybe 6, maybe 7. I don't know if you want him going 3 times through the lineup, but if he can limit his pitches, he doesn't have to go through that second time until about the 6th inning. That is the key, but not just that, Eric. And it's not just hitting, it's getting on base. Kyle Tucker didn't hit the cover off the ball, but he got on base. He walked, and that is a game changer for me. Do you think Dusty keeps the exact same lineup as he did today?
If after a win, yes, I would say so. And Mauricio Dubon is batting 500 with a 1,000 OPS in the playoffs right now. So, yes, you go ahead and ride the hot hand. McCormick is batting 316, though, with a 632 OPS. So it's not terrible. Alex Bregman just missed hitting a home run today. You had several people just miss hitting home runs.
Yes.
Pena, he's still struggling a little bit, but he's gotten some key hits in the series. But Martin Maldonado, he's showing some presence at the plate, especially in today's game. So I don't think that Yainer Diaz, and I don't think it's really his fault. I just think that he hasn't been given a lot of playing time. No, and there's been a lot of speculation. I know that John Heyman said that the Mets may be interested in going and hiring Dusty Baker after the season because they don't really care about the analytics as Justin Verlander has said. And so apparently, and we've kind of talked about it, we haven't really discussed it a lot, but the whole Dana Brown saying, well, I hope that Dusty makes the right lineup at times. And there's kind of a little butting heads there.
There is something that's been going on all season, and good for the Astros keeping that pretty much under wraps all season. I think that's something you have to control. You got to keep that in the clubhouse because when you have dissension among the ranks, it's never good. But Brian McTaggart posted some really, I don't know if he purposely did it, but they were precarious pictures of the Astros before. None of the Astros were smiling. They all looked serious, but there was one picture with Dusty and Dana Brown in the dugout next to each other. And Dana Brown had this look on his face like he just ate a lemon, and Dusty Baker was kind of slumped over. And people were like snipping out Dana Brown's face and like using it almost as a meme. And I'm like, see, this one picture is feeding this narrative. And maybe there is some conflict, maybe in the clubhouse, because it was reported from Bleacher Report that, the front office and Dusty have been butting heads. And So there's probably something to that. But the bottom line is this isn't the battlefield to fight that on.
Right.
We are in the ALCS. We can't worry about that right now. Yainer Diaz got he got his dibs. He got elected first team all MLB rookie team as the best catcher. Oh, in Gold Glove nominations,
Mauricio Dubon nominated twice
for utility and second baseman.
Forget Jose Altuve.
Yeah. Well, he didn't play enough.
I
then
know.
You had Michael Brantley, and then wasn't there another one? Wasn't there a third?
It was no, I don't
was
think
it Bregman? Yeah.
No, it was Bregman and Tucker.
Yeah, Bregman, Tucker, and then 2 from Mauricio Dubon. Wouldn't that be great if he won both of them? Look, I love this team. I know what they're made of. You know what they're made of. This is why we're positive, guys, because this team never panics. I have learned not to panic. Love this game.
Right. And as we're wrapping up this podcast, we still haven't had the official word on, unless anybody's seen the press conference.
I'm hearing that he's not going to announce a starter until the Rangers do. But this is what I will do tonight, folks. Later on tonight, once I get the interviews in my hands on my computer, the post-game interviews, I'm going to post another post-game interview ALCS special edition. That may go up around midnight or 1 this morning, but it will be up there for y'all to watch before the game tomorrow night. So make sure y'all check that out. Thank y'all for going to those videos and checking them out. And go ahead, Eric.
I would guess it's going to be Jose Urquidy on the mound.
Unless you're
out there.
I don't think they deviate from that plan. I think you're correct.
Unless you want to go ahead and deviate from your plans and listen to the game on Sirius XM, maybe on the road, and you can't access Sports Talk 790. So why don't you go ahead and download the SXM app and search Astros. You can hear all the play-by-play actions. So guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, and we will be here, win or loss, throughout the entire postseason. And we appreciate you, everydayers, the people that listen to our podcasts, whether it's a little bit depressing and a little bit happy like it is today. So, guys, we are positive about this team. We think this team are a bunch of rattlesnakes. Apparently, that's taking off right now. So I saw a lot of rattlesnake comments. So apparently I've created the Houston Rattlesnake. So guys, that's all we got for this edition of Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You find me at Eric Talk Shows. You find Brett at H-Town Wheelhouse. We are the Locked On Astros podcast. Your team every day. Go Astros.
Yard line. Huysman picks it up, touchdown.